Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave, and welcome to the next video of this Technical Analysis 101 series. Today, we'll be talking about a very special topic, to me at least, in moving averages. What are they, what do they do, and how do I use them? So, without further ado, let's get into the live scene over here. And here we are. All right, so first things first. There's two big moving averages that I use in my analysis, and if you're familiar with me from my live streams, then these are the ones that I pay most attention to on a day-to-day basis. Now, first things first, there's two different moving averages that I use. The first one is what's called a simple moving average, SMA for short, and it is quite literally exactly what it sounds like. It's just an average of price action over a specified period. Now, an exponential moving average, by the same token, is a moving average. However, it puts more weight on the more recent price action. So it's more responsive, so to say. Both are useful and both have their place in technical analysis. And again, for the purposes of understanding the live streams that I do, this is what we'll be looking at over here. So I'm going to put them on. Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. I'm just going to click this button over here and boom, there they are. There's our good old moving averages. I'm going to put us back on a daily actually as well. And first things first, I have several on here as you can see. I have 4 exponentials and 2 simples. And we're going to go over here and talk about the different inputs. I have the 21, 55, 100, and 200 inputs, aka periods, for these exponentials. And then for the simple moving averages, I have a 30 and 200. Now, there's this very specific reason why I actually choose these, and that is because the exponential moving averages line up with traditional Fibonacci numbers, and the simple moving averages are ones that I've found to work over time. So, with that said, how can we actually use this, or what does it actually really tell us about price action? Well, it literally tells us about the longer term trends. The higher the period, the longer amount of time that has passed in the averaging formula. So it's a better gauge of more long-term price action. Again, the higher the period, more long-term geared towards, if that's a good way of explaining it. Anyways. So as you can see, I should also show that they all correspond with a similar color. My first 21 exponential is a yellow, green 55, cyan 100, purple 200, blue is the 30 simple, and red is the 200 simple. And as you can see over here, it's actually telling you plenty about price action. Now, again, for the purposes of this video being an introductory video, it is not necessarily important to know all the little tricks and ways to use them from this video. I just want to get out what they are, and you'll notice, and you probably notice this yourself if you've played around with them, price action bounces along these areas, along these exponentials. You'll notice that this red, again representing the 200 simple moving average, has actually put a stoppage to price action technically right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. And that is just telling you that, hey, that was a damn nice sell. If you were just blindly selling that, you did pretty well. By the same token, if you were buying it before, this guy before, on all these dips, well, did pretty well as well, although you didn't really have too many entries, to be quite honest. Now, of course, the lower periods, especially with these exponentials, this cyan one representing the 100 exponential, you can see you actually do hit it quite a few times, and every time on this uptrend during this more bullish market over here is a fantastic buy. Now, this leads me into my next point. I don't blindly trade these, and I don't want to represent this as such, but on these higher time frames with the higher periods, especially the 100 and the 200 on both the exponential and the simples, I've noticed that price action does typically respond to those. And again, it's similar to a trend line in that it tells us when a trend is forming, and by the same token, when the trend is breaking and there's an opposite but equal trade to be made, essentially. So that's actually going to do it for this video today, or I suppose we could go over the lower time frames. You'll notice that every time frame is going to line up differently as they're all calculated to the time frame. This is a daily, so let's just go look at what it looks like on a hourly. You're going to be seeing a lot more action over here. You can see this red 200 simple is actually a great buy along this area over here. And by the same token, when it starts turning down over here, this yellow 21 exponential is actually governing price action, giving you some pretty damn good sells alongside. Now, of course, as always, higher time frames means more powerful, although you're probably going to get less entries and exits based off of them. So that's going to do it for this short little introductory to exponentials and simple moving averages. I hope that this finds you well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.